Judging by the fact that there are over 800 million videos on YouTube, and most people have way more experience on Zoom than they'd like, you'd think everyone must be an expert at shooting video by now, right? Wrong. I just ran across a guy today who's a professional hobo, and yes, he calls himself that. He rides the rails and camps in ditches, and has over 130,000 followers. So there's little danger that he's ever going to give it up to go pro as a videographer. The point, anyone can shoot video, but not everyone can do it well. In this course, we'll look at how you can not only deliver quality content to your customers, but do so in a professional manner. So stick around. I'm Jon Quade, the 5-Minute Coach. One of the most painful things I had to do when I attended on-camera training was watch myself on video. First, you had to get past the audio issue. Is that really how I sound? And then I'd noticed that my lips were really dry, or my hair was stupid, or I had some annoying facial tic. The only thing that made it better was watching the other students, who thankfully sucked just as much as I did. But after watching 8 hours of myself on camera, I was finally able to look at the videos objectively, separating the me from the delivery. Then I could deal with the nuances of what makes video work for the viewer. Today I have about 10,000 hours in front of a camera, and probably 10 times that watching hobo videos on YouTube. For shooting client-facing videos, we're going to break things down into two primary sections. One for overall delivery skills, and one for content tips. So let's begin with the delivery basics. The first one is relax. This may seem obvious, but it's a big one. Nothing is more uncomfortable for a viewer than watching a bundle of nerves on camera. Of course, the best teacher here is repetition. The more videos you shoot, the more you'll relax. Try breathing exercises or just a few jumping jacks before you begin shooting. Number 2, keep your hands off your face. This is more difficult than it sounds. The minute you tell yourself that you're not going to touch your face, it starts to itch, or a bead of perspiration starts moseying down your face. Just make it a rule because it's very distracting for a viewer. Number 3, eliminate throwaway words and phrases. Or you know, and so on. When my son was 14, one day he jumped aboard the train, and I fixed him in just a few minutes. I told him that every time he was about to say he had to change it to duh. 2 or 3 times of duh, and he was done. Throwaways are just fillers that add no value to the delivery, so get them out of there. Number 4, avoid mouth smacking. Sadly, this is currently one of mine, and it's nothing more than a bad habit. It's this. And it drives me crazy to listen to it. It's sort of a non-verbal transition, but it's still distracting. So please don't do it, and I hope I don't keep doing it through the rest of the video. Number 5, watch yourself. As I already said, this can be difficult, but it's a big key to getting better all the time. Just don't be too critical. Don't be too hard on yourself. It's also not a bad idea to invite someone you trust to give you feedback, because they can view it like a client would. Number 6, look at the camera lens. This is another one that may seem obvious, but you'd be amazed how many people struggle with it. Today it's even easier with cell phone teleprompters like Big View. I'll put a link to their website in the handout just in case you're interested. Speaking of teleprompters, I've used them for years. I even built my own for my home office like 20 years ago. It was all 2x4s and plexiglass. It must have weighed 60 pounds. The one I use today just attaches to the camera tripod. A lot of dealerships have a similar setup for their client videos. Reading a teleprompter does take some getting used to, and if you're going to script everything you say, writing takes time too, because it needs to be conversational. With some practice though, if I can do it, you can do it too. I'm including a suggested equipment list on the course handout, so you'll see what's needed and what's available depending upon how deep you want to go. The beauty is you don't need to make a major investment if you don't want to. A cell phone and tripod will get you started quite nicely. Okay, let's quickly hit some content tips for your client-facing videos. As I just mentioned, either script your content or use bullet points. Scripting does have its challenges, as I said, so if you're more comfortable speaking off the cuff with bullets to guide you, well, that's fine. I've certainly done that as well, but if you're like me, you have to make sure you don't run too long, which leads us to the next content point. Keep it short and sweet. Hey, there's a reason I don't call these training courses the half-hour coach. If you're going longer than 5 minutes on a client video, you're usually going too long. Unless they're actually buying a vehicle sight unseen, the video needs to be the appetizer so their eventual dealership visit can be the entree. And after you make the sale, well, that would make delivery the dessert, right? And then include relevant graphics. Turn vehicle data points, your contact information, the dealership's logo into either lower third, like we're doing here, or full screen graphics, allowing clients to pause the video to digest the information. Next, personalize the presentation. Use the client's name so they know you didn't just shoot a generic video. That personalization will and should impress them. Let's finish with our KLPs, or key learning points, for this course. Number 1, watch and critique plenty of your own videos, but don't be too hard on yourself. Number 2, eliminate annoying video presentation habits. Number 3, relax. Number 4, use scripts and a teleprompter or a bullet point summary. And number 5, personalize the presentation. There are thousands of posts you can check out online for more technical delivery and editing guidelines, so check them out. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you very much for joining me. You'll notice I did not touch this sweat bead right here. We'll see you on the next 5-Minute Coach. I'm Jon Quade.